Good day, Berkeleans. We will be having our first two lessons today in music, and we will be starting with the dotted notes and rests. Before we proceed, let's have a review of the values of the regular notes and rests. The whole note, the same as the whole rest, has 4 beats. The half note, the same as the half rest, has 2 beats. The quarter note, the same as the quarter rest, has 1 beat. The eighth note, the same as the eighth rest, has a 1/2 beat. And the 16th note, the same as the 16th rest, has 1/4 beat. These are the dotted notes and rests. The dotted whole note, the same as the whole rest, has 6 beats. The dotted half note and half rest have 3 beats. The dotted quarter note and quarter rest have 1 and 1/2 beats. And the dotted eighth note and 8 rest have 3/4 beat. So how do we compute the value of the dotted notes and rests? Before we proceed to the examples, pause this part and copy this in your psychomotor cluster notebook for your reference. Always remember this: the value of the dot is half the value of the note beside it. For the values of the regular notes and rests, please refer to the one you've copied on your notebook. Now, let's have the dotted whole note and dotted whole rest as our first example. The value of a whole note is 4, and half of 4 is 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. So the value of a dotted whole note is 6. Now for the dotted whole rest. The value of a whole rest is 4, and half of 4 is 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. So the value of a dotted whole rest is 6. Next is the dotted half note and dotted half rest. Again, the value of the dot is half the value of the note beside it. The value of the half note is 2, and half of 2 is 1, and 2 plus 1 is 3. So the value of a dotted half note is 3. Now for the dotted half rest. The value of the half rest is 2, and half of 2 is 1, and 2 plus 1 is 3. So the value of a dotted half rest is 3. Next is the dotted quarter note and dotted quarter rest. The value of a quarter note is 1, and half of 1 is 1/2. So the value of a dotted quarter note is 1 and 1/2. Now for the dotted quarter rest. The value of a quarter rest is 1, and half of 1 is 1/2. So the value of a dotted quarter rest is 1 and 1/2. For the dotted eighth note, the value of an eighth note is 1/2, and half of 1/2 is 1/4, and 1/2 plus 1/4 is 3/4. So the value of a dotted eighth note is 3/4. For the dotted eighth rest, the value of an eighth note is 1/2, and half of 1/2 is 1/4, and 1/2 plus 1/4 is 3/4. So the value of a dotted eighth rest is 3/4. Let's try adding values of the different kinds of notes and rests. It is important for you to know how to add notes and rests for your future lessons about time signature. Our first example has a half note, a dotted quarter note, and an eighth rest in the staff. A quarter note has 2 beats, a dotted quarter note has 1 and 1/2 beats, and an eighth rest has a 1/2 beat. For easier computation, let's add first the numbers that are alike. 1/2 plus 1/2 is equal to 1. Now that we have a whole number, we may add it to the others already. So 2 plus 1 is equal to 4, meaning there are 4 beats in the musical staff. For our next example, the musical staff has an eighth rest, a quarter note, a 16th rest, a dotted whole note, and another 16th rest. The value of an eighth rest is 1/2, the value of a quarter note is 1, the value of a 16th rest is 1/4, the value of a dotted whole note is 6, and again, the value of a 16th rest is 1/4. Again, for easier computation, let's add first the numbers that are alike. 1/4 plus 1/4 is equal to 1/2. 1/2 plus 1/2 is equal to 1. Now that we have a whole number, we may add it to the other whole numbers already. So 1 plus 1 plus 6 is equal to 8, meaning there are 8 beats in the musical staff. Aside from the different kinds of notes and rests, there are also other musical symbols that we need to know for us to better understand how music is being read. One of the primary symbols in music is the staff. It is a set of 5 horizontal lines and 4 spaces that each represent a pitch, depending on what clef is being used. The next one is the bar line. It is a single vertical line used to divide a musical staff into measures. Another musical symbol is the ledger line. It is used to notate pitches above or below the lines and spaces of the regular musical staff. And finally, the clef symbols. The clef symbols tell you which note is found on each line or space. The G clef was already introduced and discussed with you when you were in grade 4. Now, I will be discussing with you the F clef, also known as the bass clef. Before we proceed, let's have a review about G clef, or the treble clef. In the G clef, Do starts in the ledger line below the staff. The G clef symbol also tells you that the pitch in the second line from the bottom, the line that the symbol curls around, is G. Remember the pitch names that correspond with the so-fa syllables. The pitch name of Do is C, Re is D, Mi is E, Fa is F, Sa is G, La is A, and T is B. Moving on to the F clef or bass clef. From the bottom, Do starts in the second space of the staff. A bass clef symbol tells you that the pitch name in the second line from the top, the one bracketed by the simple dots, is F. One of the basic ways to memorize the pitch names in a particular clef is by mnemonics. The pitch names on the lines of the F clef, starting from the bottom, are G, B, D, F, and A, and to memorize these, just remember the phrase good, boys, do, fine, always. The pitch names on the spaces of the F clef, starting from the bottom, are A, C, E, and G, and to memorize these, just remember the phrase all cows eat grass. Now let's try guessing the pitch names of the notes given. Let's start with this. What do you think is the pitch name of the given note? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The pitch name of the note is B. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. The pitch name of the note is A. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. The pitch name of the note is A. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. The pitch name of the note is G. Good job. That's it for the dotted notes and rests, and the F clef or the bass clef. For your first assessment, click the Assignment tab found on the left panel.